Hey you guys, um, welcome in. I am so sorry that I had to keep pushing it up. Muffin, thank you for your emails. Yes, I'm dealing with some health issues, but all will be good. I will take a little time, but all will be good, and it should not interfere with anything we do here other than it will make it better because it gives me time to reflect on really what's important and how much I love what I do here. So, yes, welcome in. And again, I'm really sorry. You guys definitely, from this point on, definitely get alerted. Put your alerts on so you know when I'm going on. And I'll take a little better care of it. I wasn't by my computer. It's been a long last few days. With that being said, welcome on in, you guys, to WCAA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107, the Copyright Act 1976. With this break, thanks Muffin. Many times when stuff happens and life throws you a curveball, and you reflect and so forth. For me, my spirit angels become very strong, and that actually did happen the last couple days as I took the break from looking at the screen. I'm going to put a few things out there, and obviously it's for entertainment, educational purposes only. Nothing I say has been proven true or false. It just comes through spirit. And what came through very clearly for me was a few voices that had accents, mainly Australian accents, but they had accents to me. And the accents were speaking as if the accents were coming from one person, and that person was laughing, like saying, "Oh, hi, Lori," and like laughing like it's me, it's me in this voice. And then another one, it would be like telling me that there's particular voices on YouTube that are playing the game of hot potato, and they're the same person, but yet they're switching the way they speak and the way that they present themselves. And that's just part of the game, and it's part of the way that they hide, and the way that they manipulate, and the way that this game is played. So, hi Jean, hi Muffin, hi GH White, Susan, Crystal, Rumple Long here. Thank you guys for all coming back and like watching out for me to see where I'm coming back on. Hi Susan. Yeah, so everyone, welcome in. Welcome. Slowly but surely, you guys will trickle in. So today's presentation is super important in the learning experience. It's super important to pay attention because I'm going to be showing you what to look at that's really, really obvious to me. And my goal here is to make it obvious to you guys. So when I'm not online, showing it to you, you know how to find it, and you look at something like this and stop and say, this something's wrong with this picture, right? Like something's wrong with this photo. The Brian Kohlberger case, something's wrong with the whole entire case. Something's wrong with the information that has been thrown upon this case. Something is wrong with every video that has become this case. Going right back to the car videos, in any case that we're following, any of the car videos, any of the cases we're following, it's super important, if you have nothing else to do, let's say tomorrow afternoon, go look at any of the car videos that have footage from body cams. Body cam footage really is a joke. This is body cam footage. Just zoom on into these things, and this cannot be inside the car of Brian Kohlberger, but yet it's in the video. So if it's not in the car, who's trying to tell this story? You see his eye? This is a story they're telling. It's not being talked about. So this is the stuff, and that's a baby's face. That's a head. And this is the equipment. And the father is holding on to this right here. And this, look at what's under the chin and by the eyeball. See? All right, hold on, you guys. I have to switch rooms. Second. Okay, give me 1 minute, you guys, to plug in. 1 minute. You just keep looking at that photo while I'm getting reorganized. All right, guys. Can you stay up there? Okay. It's not so bad. So, again, try to look at these photos as if you don't know what's going on. And look at the photos like with a blank slate within your own brain, because they don't make sense. They don't make sense to the storyboard that we're being given. And Brian Kohlberger's father, this is what they're showing. Who's putting Susan? Who's putting this in the videos? That's a really good question. We don't know the answer to that. Right? I'm showing this in the beginning because I'm going to be working this up to SUMMERWELLS case. These are photos and parts of the video that are in Brian Kohlberger's car videos. To me, this is like the Joker. Remember I told you there's a Batman, there's a Superman, there's a Spider-Man. There's a Joker. And this Joker is in the video. I know I've shown this before, but it's really kind of time to keep showing it over and over and over because most people aren't paying attention. It's really critical. And here, it's very critical to notice the symbols that are placed within these videos over and over. It's right there. So we know that this isn't a normal video of Brian Kohlberger. What I'm getting at, I'm not just saying it's not a video. I'm saying that these videos are being tampered with, or these videos are being put out there for fake news, or someone is messing with the law enforcement's videos. And this is what it looks like, because it shows how this stuff is placed as deep fakes. And deep fakes, for those that don't know, there's layers of information. So let's just take, for instance, wait, let me see if it's on the next page. Let's say, okay, it's on the next page, this page. This is what deep fake is called. This is super clear. And this is to teach you, this is super clear. The person's face that's on the bottom is not the same face that's on the top. So what's happening up here isn't what's happening down here. So these are layered on top of each other, and this is what they do with the fake cars. They layer the fake cars. If you put these two faces, which I will, next to each other, they may look similar, but they're different. So this is where you get the layering of deep fake. The faces aren't the same. They do this with the victims. They did this with Brian Kohlberger. Brian Kohlberger takes on lots of faces. They use faces and they layer them. So the truth either gets covered up or they're showing you the fake news. So this is Brian's father on the bottom, right here. That's Brian's father on the bottom. Now you guys could do this yourself. Like, I'm trying to show you guys things that you could start taking advantage of your own skill set that you learned, through this last 2+ years. This is what's on the top. You may think they look the same. They're different. They have different glasses. Oh my God, they have different teeth. They have different facial hair. They're different. And look at Brian. He's not the same, but these two are the most obvious. This dude has a grin on his face like he's in the clear. Intuitively, I'm saying he's like laughing, like, these dumb motherfuckers. This is just, this is me having fun. But this is what the deep fake looks like. It looks like that, you guys. And sometimes you could get both layers. It's actually quite easy. The videos that the body cams put out are the easiest ones to pull apart. Like, you could see he's holding the equipment. So when I say he's holding the equipment, they hold this thing in their face and it's a camera-like thing. It goes against their eye. I've shown it many, many, many times. Goes against their eye, see? Like he's holding that in his face. And that's a different person on top. Totally different people. And the law enforcement and whoever else is in charge of these cases aren't calling it. They're not recognizing it. But yet it's not my third eye saying I see 5 people in her face and I see President Lincoln and George Washington. I'm not saying shit like that. I'm showing it to you. I see it very clearly. Yes, Muffin, there's a lot of fake skin going on here, and I'm going to show you the more fake skin today. This one is very important because the one to the left comes from the fisherman's boat. And I think that's David Dotson. And David Dotson is holding a head. And I could say it's David Dotson. Like, to me, it's David Dotson. And he was found on the fisherman's boat. And he's holding a trophy in his hand. And that's what I see. Now, to the best of my ability, I need to show you guys that it's David Dotson. And he's holding one of those heads in his hand. He's got his little glasses on. But this is coming off that fisherman's boat. I'm showing replays of photos I've had in the past because there are new listeners that are really listening to try to understand why these cases aren't getting solved and why are these cases being confused and confusing and they can't seem to get the information correct. It's because the social media has created a platform to do that very nicely. And it's something that the authorities just have to, they recognize it. They're not idiots, but they have to, I would like for them to say it out loud, to recognize it publicly. Yes, you guys, we see David Dotson allegedly. Yes, he's holding someone's fucking head in his hand. Yes, right there is Tim Mullen, but yet Tim Mullen looks like somebody else. So it's just recognition that this is going on. And when I think now, I like Michelle After Dark, and she's got great channel. I'm using her as a great example because I know she won't care because she's very committed fully to solving these cases. I'm going to use her as example to show you what I think fake skin looks like. And it looks like that. And she's a great face to use as far as how faces like hers take on multiple faces. So many a times I'll look at, I'm not saying anything that it's her, you guys. What I'm saying is I look at her face and I see her face in everything I do. So maybe they selected a face because through their research, she's got that kind of a face. But, you know, she to me is my poster child photo of whoever is involved here resembles someone like her. Again, I'm not saying it's her, but the nose is like her. There's fake skin like her. I believe that there's an accent, but the accent shifts and changes, and it just consistently matches. So when you guys are looking, I'm not saying look for her face. No. I'm saying that if you see a face, kind of look at it and look at the structures for a face like this. Because the nose, the eyes, the lips, the skin, the hair, it's all the same to me. So obviously I'm not saying it's her, because here I'm telling you it's David Dotson and Tim Mullen, right? But I think that they use a multiple images that they place over faces to help create the confusion. So let's say Tim Mullen's really involved. Well, every time I see her face, it shows up like her, and then I go back to him. So it's the way that my psyche is working, and this is what's happening. It's creating a solid narrative, and it's also telling me that the voice has a few different tones to it. It has a few different accents. That one is the one that spoke to me that was very precise, like said hi to me, like, yeah, it is me. And it like it was someone who knows my channel, but it did it in a few different tones. Women. They were all women. No, it's got nothing to do with Michelle After Dark. I enjoy her so much. I'm using this as an example, okay? And I am using the example because I feel safe with that, because I know that she's there to help solve the cases. She works her ass off. So try really hard to understand. I don't do this to create drama. I'm doing this to teach others, and she won't mind I'm using her because she's really dedicated. Very dedicated to helping give justice to these children. So this is the face. So I'm surprised. So maybe one day she'll say, yeah, the face looks like my face. Because that face, let me brighten it up. To me, it's Tim Mullen. See, so I'm not, this face brings me to Tim Mullen, you see. So Spirit uses people to help tell the story. And Spirit's going to use her because she helps tell the story of the children. She helps in a very good way. This face here is supposed to be Molly. So within Molly's videos, this face appears beneath hers. And what's happening, you guys, is I'm trying to show you how they're all coming together into a very few select people that tell the story and the narrative. And to pay attention to these faces. You see, this is the one that's under Brian Kohlberger's father. So there, and that to the left is supposed to be Benny. Well, we know that's not Benny. We know it, right? Molly shows the people. That's Molly. But yet this is Beeston Bunch. This here's the Beeston Bunch. That Beeston Bunch face very much matches Molly's face. So the people that are placed in the deep fake that are hiding are becoming the same faces. So the ones that are hiding, are showing themselves over and over now in different videos. The Beeston Bunch video is to the right. Molly, that's supposed to be Molly, is to the left. What's the most interesting is this face, I have decided, shows up the most. This face was the man in the backyard. This is supposed to be Ryan Upchurch. That face and this face are the same. This face is also supposed to be Ryan Upchurch, but this face is becoming clearer and clearer, and they don't belong on these people's bodies. This is Ryan Upchurch. Under his face, I'm repeating it, is this person. This person and that person, I feel intuitively, are the same, just as these are the same. And oh, they're forward. I'll show you. So these shouldn't be here. But what's happening is it's the same face showing up as a deep fake. So not only are we getting deep fakes under their faces, they're repeating themselves in each of the cases. SUMMERWELLS, Idaho 4, KIELYRODNI's, GABBYPETITO's, they show up the same. Oh, you little baby, you don't like what you see? Oh, grow the fuck up. Obviously, this isn't Ryan. Look. I want you to notice the symbols. I want you to look at what's going on in this photo. I want you to look at what's in his hand. This stuff is becoming extremely important to pay attention to. My group that's been here watching my channel should never allow this stuff to escape your eyeball. This is the stuff you should make sure that you notice. Because what's in the hand and the fact that that's not him, and there's what is that? Batman sign on his hat? I wouldn't be surprised. But this isn't the Ryan we know. So as I'm saying Ryan, it's not about Ryan. These are called deep fakes. But because this channel has been following it for 2+ years, boom, 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 boom. We could name that shit out all day and all night. But no one else is seeing it other than in this channel. So the stuff in the hand is the stuff that you are going to see throughout the SUMMERWELLS cases. And look at the face. Look at the face. Ryan, that's not you. It's not you. And it's clearly someone like, this to me looks like Zanime. But who's to say? It doesn't matter. The point is that this isn't who they say it is. Just like Brian Kohlberger's father, whoever's hiding beneath his photo isn't who he says he is. That's where the story should begin, you guys. Who's who? Who's on first? Who's on second? Because other than that, how is it that they could solve any of these cases if you don't know who the fuck is playing the game? There's no way they know who's playing the game. Look at all these players in here. I'm asking, do they know that there's lots of players in here? Or do they not? That's all they have to do is recognize the fact of what is happening and then explain it to the public who's really trying to find these children. Like, does this stuff exist? I would love to go on the road and be like, oh, I'm going to go up to that tree. Does that tree really have a hole in it, or does it not have a hole in it? Because you really don't know unless you see it for yourself with your own eyes. Because in today's day and age, this stuff is made up. I don't even know if that house is Don Wells' house. I don't even know if he has a house. Because from the likes of it, we've seen 20 different versions of a house. We've seen 20 different versions of the RV. The RV is big, long. It has square windows. It doesn't have windows. It has a trailer to the side. It doesn't have a trailer. So until you see it with your own eyes, and you can't trust what they show you on these channels. I'm telling you, you can't. Because these faces should not look alike. Because we're told that this face, the people in front of us, is supposed to be the singer Ryan Upchurch. Maybe it is. I've never seen him in concert. I've never seen him in front of me. I don't know who he is. He looks different every time. He looks different. Here's this one. Like, it's different every time. Whoops. Let me get a different one. It's too big. It's different every time, but yet nobody is coming forward to acknowledge. Like, if I looked 20 different ways, I'd want to acknowledge it. I mean, he's allowed to put on mustaches and shit, whatever he wants to do, but that's not this dude. And this dude here these are the photos that I said shit was happening with him. I have a file that says, are you involved? That's what I have it marked. Are you involved? Because when I see photos that match the KIELYRODNI case perfectly, I question it. That's supposed to be Ryan Upchurch up in the left-hand corner. But yet it matches Kylie's party. And then that redheaded dude is to the left. So it's not so crazy anymore, you guys. The pictures and the photos of the people are matching. They're coming together in a way that even the deep fake faces are now like re-showing themselves. They're repeating themselves. How is that possible? How? And I'm bringing these people up because this is where I get the information. This is Ryan's. To me, this is nothing more than KIELYRODNI's party. Because this shit makes no sense. I'm sorry. There's nothing about these photos that jives. Nothing. So when you're looking at these videos and your eye shows you something really strange beneath the truth, pay attention. Pay attention when you see photos like this. That are telling you the story. They're telling you the story. This will always get to me. That Madeline McCann that came forward saying she's Madeline McCann. I bring it up occasionally, but for some reason right now I'm bringing it up because it's very surfaced for me. When I repeat things, it's because it's very surfaced somewhere in the world. This is being talked about and it's very surfaced. Madeline McCann is a case that just is driving people crazy. And it's driving people crazy because it's completely fabricated and made up. A child did go missing, but the story was placed together as a story. This photo that was beneath this lady's video could really solve the Madeline McCann and many other missing children if someone were to pay attention and recognize that this is what happens. This lady she's layered. She plays a part. But this is where they sit. This is a real room, you guys. This is a real room. And that is real equipment. It showed up in every one of her videos. It showed up in different ways, but the equipment and the elements stay consistent. So the picture to the left may look different and it comes from a different video, but when you copy and paste what's going on, it's a cookie cutter. So what happened in the Madeline McCann case, it's telling you the story, and I best believe that the parents knew. This is a story that people just won't let it go. You know why? Because it makes no sense. You guys, it makes no sense. None. So people are like, what the fuck? This makes no sense. This is the answer. This lady, it almost unraveled. Almost unraveled. They had to pull their shit together and quickly figure it out. This here is this equipment. These are different rooms. These are different videos. You see? This fits. Madeline McCann's head is right next to hers. She's playing a fucking puppeteer game. You see? It wouldn't take much for the authorities to do that. Hello, right here. It's the same. You see that head in that box over there? That's where Madeline McCann was talking, out of a fucking box. This isn't a normal photo. It's not a normal photo. Because this is telling you the same story over here. It's the same people. And this is, to me, evidence that this shit is going on. It is the same room. Madeline's head's up top. See? Madeline's head's up top. There is no difference. No difference between what I'm showing you here and what I showed you with Brian Kohlberger's father. This is how the equipment works. It's layered and it's all the same. They're using the same information. I mean, the same equipment. What's the difference? The only difference is this is Kohlberger's case. That's the only difference. This is Madeline McCann. And it goes right here. Right there. These are stories, you guys, that are fitting together like a puzzle. And there's nothing different. There are children. This is somewhere happening. This is within an underground area. It's in an underground area. And when you look at the little puzzle pieces, they're not so scattered like they used to be. You know, sometimes it takes time to put it all together. It takes time. And these are the boxes. These are the boxes that they use. You've seen those over and over. Over and over. I will keep showing this. So my intuitive read on this is the person who decided to put this out here is someone that is very strong-headed and got really pissed off at the parents of the Idaho 4 because that father said something he wasn't supposed to say. I know in my own intuition that he knows a lot. And this person released this video basically as a, like a, you know, you better keep your mouth shut or I'm going to keep showing more and more. He showed enough to let us know that these videos tell the story beneath the story. If you follow the elements, you're going to see the story. So let me show you the most important elements that I'm using here today. It's this one. It's the camera that they use against a reflective window to tell the sick gas story beneath the deep dark web. I don't know exactly how their machinery works, but what I do know is it needs reflection against another screen. It takes a few screens to see the darkest, deepest element. Right? And this is what JLR is doing in his photo to the right. He is just reflecting. You can't reflect. He's in the front of a wood door. And this is what is showing. The guy that tells the story in the Idaho 4, to me, is doing the same damn thing. Same thing. This here is something that I noticed right in the beginning of SUMMERWELLS' case. Right in the beginning. Whoever is telling this story is there's a couple different people here, because if you look behind him, not JLR, there is someone else involved. That person back there is a totally different person that's in that photo. That person back there is holding the smiley face. It's not the same person in the front. These are layered, you guys. They're layered, and then they layer it together to get their story. I don't know the whole entire situation. All I know is there's multiples. There's multiples. And that's JLR. But this is the way, and they have to use it. These are boxes. This is the equipment that shows up all the time. It's the box. It's the machine. It's the camera. But it's not just them standing there taking a photo. No way. This is JLR. He's holding a box, you guys. There's a camera in the box. These are reflective something. There's no difference between what we're seeing here and whatever was created and made years ago. This is the equipment. Nothing's changed in years. Nothing. Whatever he's holding with his hand, with this box, let me show you. Is the same thing that Bob Vaughn made. You see? Boston. Thank you, Boston, for that super chat, super sticker. Thank you. And welcome in. Thank you, thank you. These are the same. And it tells the same information. It goes back to the beginning. It goes back to the beginning of when this was created. The blueprints created this. Let me make this smaller. So it always goes back. Because if it didn't go back, then my story's a crock of shit. But it isn't a crock of shit. Look what's going on with his picture. It's this. Like, look what's happening to JLR. It's the same thing that showed in the summer moon case when they showed this. These are the elements. That probably will show up in his hand. See these little gold things? Those are elements. Let me get back there. That, let me grab JLR. Those little elements would be in his hand. They're just called critters. So let me zoom in to the hand and see if we could capture some of this. Let's look. So JLR in his hand has the elements. So what you see here are those little elements, and he's holding, JLR's holding that. And if you zoom into JLR's, that's what's in his hand. They're the animals. It's always the same. Those are the critters, and they're connected to the bar. It's the story. And this is a victim that they're telling a story. He's not standing in front of a fucking door. JLR always tells the story. He is always telling the story. He's the media. He's telling you the story. He's probably holding the same thing that this fake Brian Kohlberger's father's holding in the car. So this stuff is getting louder and louder. I don't know if it's because they're dropping the ball, or maybe it's because they just won't stop telling the story. Right? Summer Moon Wells. Really think about what they're showing you here. Really look at it through your eyes of intuitive. Look at this through the eyes of you don't know the story, don't prejudge it, don't look at it and have an opinion. Look at this as if it holds the information to finding Summer, to actually finding her. If you were sitting back as FBI agent and you only had a couple photos to go by, and this is one of them, as well as this one. Wait, let me show you what's on my next page. This one and this one. You would see a lot of information. So, this photo is by the shed. It's got the green swing. It's by the shed. This photo is overlooking the bus. And when I zoom into the swing, let me show you. The swing is white. The other very, very, very important piece of this puzzle is that both of these dresses are on the hanger that was in one of her very last photos in the kitchen. The hanger that showed in the kitchen by the boot gives so much information because it all it all comes together, you guys. Think about it. They have the story. They show the boat, the boot. Wait. So here. It's on the hanger. That hanger is a dark maroon hanger, right? Let me see if I have it here. Let's see. 6, 6. So this picture, this one says it was posted at 6:06. Mine was posted at 6:06 and at 5:06. Remember, she changed it? These are very important pieces of the puzzle. That hanger is what's holding on to her dress. Her dress is hanging from the hanger. There's the boots. This situation changes. But then they change the time. Then they changed the time to they changed from 5:06 to 6:06. (5:06 to 6:06). These hangers are important. I want to point out how important these kind of dresses are. They're fairy tale dresses. And as I continuously go through information on all of these cases, I'm consistently coming back to this video, to the left-hand side. I believe that the video to the left-hand side is going to become of extreme importance very soon. Many times I show you guys information that is not really ready to be placed within this puzzle as a puzzle piece. So the information comes forward, I know somewhere it's going to play a big part, right? So I show it. I show it so, you know, the spirit knows, yeah, I have it, I'm showing it, and I hear that this is important to your story. I know it is. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to try to figure it out. I'm going to let it be. Since Molly went away and Molly became something else, what she left behind for me were many, many, many little nuggets of information that I think I'm supposed to find. I think there's a part of some Molly out there that I'm supposed to find this information. You know, I think that it's left there for, I think, people like me that are supposed to find it. Because the story needs to be told. And it's going to take someone who sees beneath what they're trying to tell you is the truth. It has to take someone who could see beneath and beyond, or the story will never be told. It has to be, because if you think about it, the story of these children, the story of these sacrifices are hidden. They're hidden beneath the deep, dark fake. And it's going to take someone like me and other people. I'm not the only fucking one who could do this. I'm not that dumb or that full of myself. That sees it. I'm trying to teach you guys how to see it, right? I'm here to teach you guys. So when you look at these photos, you recognize that this is Summer's stick. It's wrapped in white. Like, this is Summer's stuff. And it's showing in front of this shed. It's very important. So that stuff shows up in every case. This here are bits of information that the many different Molly Golightly's left us to figure out. And in time, this is all coming together. All of these pieces, you guys. Pay attention to them, right? Pay attention to what is coming out of these photos. These are pieces. These are all pieces. So when I zoom in, let me zoom into her. Actually, she's in the next photo here. When you zoom in, you see it, right? Look what's happening here. Look at the face. Look at the neck. Look at the body. It's telling us that this is real. This is the equipment. And this is what happens, you guys. What you see here, I'm calling her a Molly, is no different than the equipment that holds the head and is held up like this. This is the equipment. It matches all the way through. Doesn't change, you guys. This is just like that. And that is exactly how I showed you Madeline McCann looked. They may be showing it to you slightly different, but it's the same information. It's the same story. It's the same machinery. This is the same. This box is exactly, let me turn it. Sometimes if I line it up correctly, that box that JLR's holding, remember this is in JLR's arms, same fucking box that is right here in the Madeline McCann case. You see? It's identical. Identical. And that's what's around her neck. This JLR. This is Madeline McCann. I mean, wouldn't you be like, what the fuck? Wouldn't you be like, if you were the FBI, this would be like freaking Candyland. Let me contrast it a little bit more so you could see it better. I'm going to contrast this a little. So to me, this would be like bingo. That's a bingo card. I mean, do you know how frustrating it is that I could just keep showing this shit all day, all night? Carbon copies to massive cases around the world, and no one is giving a shit that this is a match? They all have a head to it. This is exactly what's going on over there. It's a slam dunker. It's a slam dunker. Now, I have no idea who's popping up in the background. I don't care. I'm just sticking with the elements, and this little Mary Poppins here is covered in the elements. And this is what every one of our cases and all of the children are covered in. Every time that we see this, this is what is on them. And that's what I'm focusing in on. This is the equipment. This is to me, a carbon copy of a Molly Golightly. And these are sacrifices, and it's showing the elements very clearly, especially the V. And this on the shoulder, and this is the bar. It's all right here. In its own way, it's showing it. This is the stuff that happened to the Idaho 4. And the way that they covered up the Idaho 4 is exactly the same way they covered up starting in Madeline McCann's case. Because these guys have the same information. I'm showing you the picture of Ethan that was on his phone right there to the left. That is what he looked like. That was his sacrifice, you guys. It happened outside of the house. So why is it that they're not looking at these photos? They're not fake photos. You have to do a little digging to get it. But they're there. These photos shouldn't be here. They're in his phone. They shouldn't be there. But it's giving you the story of Ethan. He was pretty brutalized way before he was plopped in that house. He was plopped in that house when all this shit was done. Obviously. Obviously. It shows it. This is Ethan. Absolutely, completely brutalized. There's a photo that tells the truth. There's no difference between what he went through and where he went to go through it than SUMMERWELLS. These are the same. Summer also went to the water. Summer also had on an outfit like that. Summer also was connected to the rope. Why is it that this stuff isn't being put together? What is it? What are they afraid of? This is the same. It's the same. And it's exactly what they're showing in the video I showed you. This one. They are retelling the stories of these sacrifices using a deep fake over it to cover up location, the people. But when you look at this stuff, this is the Idaho 4. This is Ethan. It's Summer. You don't have to have psychic abilities to see what the fuck is going on here. Nobody needs to have, you just need to have eyeballs. That's it. Eyeballs. This all comes from the same people. These children that are in the video of the swing, they were never fucking swinging on a swing across the park and having a gay old time. Never. We all want that to happen so you all think you see it in your brain. Well, this is what's happening. And that's what happened to Ethan. He wasn't killed in the house. And someone is hiding the weenie. I have to assume, no offense FBI, that you're not this stupid. I'm sorry. That a photo like this, it's there. That you didn't see it. There's just no way. And that this is part of what happened to them. And it's the same thing you're looking at here. Summer. This is her swing. His one leg. We don't know what's going on here. But it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. He has one arm. She has one leg. Very brutal. Completely the same. All the same. Ethan did not die in the house. No way. No way. None of those kids died in the house. None of them. And obviously this is allegedly, and this is just my thoughts. No fucking way. And they were brought to that house from under the ground. They did not bring them in through the front door. They brought them in from under. They came up and from under. Up and under. KIELYRODNI died of the same thing. KIELYRODNI went to this same swing and she died exactly the same kind of a death. This is Summer. This is where they all go. And understand that when they show pictures of Benny's face, it's not Benny, it's the victims. You might as well put Summer Moon Wells right over that photo. Because this is what it is. Benny Keys and Molly Golightly's video showed this part of the sacrifice. I follow the elements, not the faces. These elements in this room is the same. These rooms, these boxes, they're all the same, you guys. Doesn't change. These boxes, these things that go across their head, Understand that these are all the same. These are all the same. I'm showing the faces because we don't know who these children are. We don't know. But this is what lies beneath the deep fake when these children are shown. It shows Summer Moon Wells. It shows the victims of Summer Moon. It shows this. It shows this. It shows that these kids are being victimized just as Summer Moon was victimized and murdered. There is no difference between these videos. These are the same stories. And they're being hidden. They're being hidden within multi-million-dollar YouTube channels that make millions of dollars on hiding this stuff. Millions, you guys. Because what is in here is a completely different child. And they're not in a car. Multi-million-dollar industry. Go ahead, son of a bitches. Call me. Call me on showing a child's face. Go ahead. I dare you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Really? These children are connected to the A-frames that I've been showing for 2.5 years. These are the A-frames that get connected to their head. Those are the A-frames. I'm always like, look at the A-frame. There's the A-frame. Blah, 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 blah. Always. But you guys, there are hundreds of millions of dollars being spent and given to these channels. What you see here is no difference than what we saw day 1 of Summer Moon. This here is the same circumstance. Turn it. Let me turn this. Same circumstance. They're showing Summer Moon here, just like they're showing another victim here. Why is this Why is this okay? Why is this okay? Molly Golightly's video. This comes from Molly Golightly's video when she was with Prince and her fake swap. The children in this video proved to be victims. To me, they're identical to Summer. Molly Golightly just seems to consistently be brought back over and over and over. Molly Golightly's name just keeps coming back. It's like over and over, it gets more entailed and deeper. She keeps showing information that is so critical to the SUMMERWELLS case. I'm just gonna keep on showing it, right? This here, I have many photos of this connected to children's heads. Many. And look at her. Look at the child to the left with that around her neck. Somewhere there must be someone in the law enforcement that will recognize what is going on here and just plaster it. That's what I'm waiting for, because these children are connected to this equipment. And it's not as if it's done once. It's throughout the video. Over and over and over and over and over. It's on their necks. They're little baby summer moons. I'm showing this because she shows, again, I see fake skin on her neck. It could be a scarf for all I know. I'm using that as to show you that's what it looks like. And this little girl is very sad. And that is very uncomfortable. And she is being brutalized. This is Molly Golightly's video. There is nothing about this face that looks comfortable or okay. Nothing. Look what's in her ear. These are all elements, you guys. This, to me, is a complete affirmation of what's happening. So this here is what they get placed in their ears. She has that thing around her neck with the white little things coming out. And whatever's in her hair. But Tamale, go lightly. Wherever you are, or wherever you went, I'm not stopping. And this isn't Robin. They say this is Robin in church. This is a video from like week 1. You guys have to understand that that's not her. This is video from week 1. And that's not Robin. And she puts that thing across her face, which are symbols. They're complete symbols. And this isn't Robin. So Robin, I'm not sure if you know someone is like playing you, but this ain't you, madam. And those are symbols to the cult. She wipes them right across her face. Who's that? This is them in church. This is when they say, you know, Summer comes up and down and runs to her. That's not her. And this person holds these things across her face. Those are symbols. Those are symbols. Again, here's the swing. Identical information. Identical. And anyone in their right mind could tell that this is not what is the problem. This is not a child swinging on a swing on a sunny day in their backyard. This is not talked about, and it's for some reason accepted. It's accepted for some reason that that's Summer. Come on, people. Look at the videos. You'll see it yourself. The mother's videos. Kylie Rodney's boyfriend showed it the best. He's the one who showed Kylie just like that, with the mask on her face. You guys, these things don't just appear. It's the same. It's not just like there's a mask. There's a mask that matches everyone else's masks. It's not like, oh, there's a creepy mask on her. That's on Kylie. I've shown this before, but this is no different than what they're showing in these videos. Why isn't this in the front of newspapers? Why isn't this being talked about? This is more of the story, because what's going on there is part of the sacrifice that they're showing here. It's the same thing that is in the Watts case. This is what they show. I mean, it's like, what the fuck, right? You question it. And here's the equipment in the back seat of these guys' car. This is the group that I said showed KIELYRODNI the night that KIELYRODNI went missing. So I have this pegged as KIELYRODNI, as KIELYRODNI's story being told under their video. So when I say, oh, it's them, the story is being told underneath their video. So when you look at something like this and you see a face in the back, I'm pegging this as KIELYRODNI's story. So that would be her. And this is the machinery that I keep showing you guys. Here's a guy's face. This machinery is the same machinery that shows up in Molly Golightly's car. It's right there. Not new. This is in her car. I'd love to see someone call me and say, oh, I just passed someone on the road with the same thing in their back seat. Really? You're not going to ever see that in someone's fucking back seat of their car because it's not a car. But the thing is, Molly Golightly has the whole entire story, and she shared it before she disappeared. This here is the equipment that is in all the videos. This is in the backseat of her car. That. So if you turn it, let's see. Let's see here. This way maybe? This is in the back seat. I say it's this way. Let's wait and see. But this is what you're looking at in the Beastons video, in their back seat. Let's see. So this here is Molly's, and this is the Beastons. This is the same equipment, you guys. They're telling the same story in the back seat of their car. It's this. This is the room. This is the equipment. This is underground. This is the equipment underground. This is to me, really what it looks like. Like this guy here, and they showed it really well on the fisherman's boat. Like this here is what it looks like underground. And this is what happens. This is what happens to the victims. This is the equipment. It's all the same thing. They just deep fake it in different areas, but truly, you guys, Molly Golightly gave the story very, very well. See, this is Molly's in the back seat. See, the one to the all the way over here is actually that is Adventures with Purpose. These are all the same. Yeah, they're body bags, and they have shit connected to them. And this here was Adventures with Purpose. This is the guy that came and did the interview, but this is what was on his face. This shit. This here, I put this here, why? Oh, this is the Idaho 4, right? I put this here and I didn't put the other one because I want to show you that this is the same thing that shows up in these cars. It's the same equipment. Wait. This is Idaho 4 in the window. It's just all the same. It's showing the equipment. All showing the equipment. I always go back to this because this is Summer Moon's a photo that just keeps changing over and over. And what's most important is to recognize the letters. I think these letters are extremely important and could help one day in solving the case. They repeat throughout Summer's case. The ERE, the SF, the 5RE, all of this here showed up. I think this is Summer, I don't remember right now, I'd have to look it up, by the tunnel maybe, but these letters are very significant to Summer's case. Very. They show up, like I say, throughout all different videos. And this symbolizes the group that's doing this. These symbolize groups. It tells me a lot of information. It speaks super loud. It's definitely a gift. It's a gift of information. So this I pop up once in a while. I keep it. The brighter letters are obviously more important than the others. It's important that you guys recognize the F and the S. the R and the E. Those are important, and you've seen them throughout other cases as well as Summers. So they're very significant. If you see something like this, take a snapshot and just put it to the side. You know, don't blow it off. Just put, put it to the side, because see how all of these letters, ERS. Oh, interesting. Huh. See this here. These are from Summer. The one to the right is Summer Moons. The one to the left is from the food truck. You guys. It's a picture from the food truck. That food truck is, again, another one that was used to cover up the correct information. What happened to those kids? What happened to them, it shows in the food truck video. I mean, look at that guy. He's dressed in freaking monk stuff. Molly Golightly always showed amazing information. I have each and every one of hers. And obviously I bring this back because, now the T and the F. But this isn't Molly. This isn't Molly. This can't be Molly. I mean, look at her face. This here is not Molly. This here, again, I'm going to explain this, is a mixture of Brian Kohlberger's father, a mixture of her, a mixture of this guy. So this guy is front and runner for me. Like that guy to me is like, if I had to rank which ones to me are on top of my list, it'd be that one and this one. These guys. Totally. Whoops. I sent this into the Delphi. I went over this before, but I at least did get a response. I never even get a response to tell me that they received it, which was great. Because what I didn't show you, this is Summer Moon. I showed you this was Summer Moon's house right when she went missing. Right? This comes from the news station. And I showed you how it's just like this. This comes from the Delphi case. This is the photo that I didn't have when I showed this stuff to you before. This is what I sent in. Because the way that it matches Summer is absolutely incredible. This photo here of the sticks is Delphi. This is Summer Moon's backyard. You guys, these are identical. You see, they're the same. They're exactly the same. If this isn't recognized as the same case, I'd be shocked. These are the same. I showed this before. But now that you have this photo, it shows you a real good image. Could place this shit right on top. So to me, this is a very good indication that it's the same. It's for the same purpose. Same purpose. I haven't gone back to this guy in a while, and then I found this photo that I had. This is the red-headed dude. It said, when my crush finally comes over. KIELYRODNI's party that they say she went to before she went missing was on a TikTok, right? This is the TikTok from that Betty Lou. Betty Lou has this TikTok. When the TikTok ran, I noticed a pattern after each one of these TikToks. It showed the same people. So I wanted to capture it and keep it. So this guy, as well as the Beeston and the Kents, and one other group kept following Betty Lou's video. So I kept the information. This here, he looks to me as if he's actually in the party. Now, I know that this was a video that was right after the party, like that ran after, and they do bleed into one another. But the problem that I have here is there's pictures in here that appear. And they're neither in Kylie's video or Betty Lou's or his. So I thought this was really important to re-show, as well as what Candace ran on the right-hand side with that red head. And that looks like Michael Vaughn to me. But really notice what's going on in this guy's video that overlapped with KIELYRODNI's. Now again, I get the fact that it overlaps. I get the fact that, blah, blah, blah information. But let me show you something. This face in here isn't in either of their videos. So who is that? Is that Sammy? Is that Kylie? Like, who is that? I think that this is very important. I think that a facial recognition on that face would be critical in her case. Because I think this redheaded dude is part of it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I'm saying that this face here isn't either or. It's neither in Betty Lou's video, nor is it in his. But in this particular screenshot, this face appears. You see? And I think that face is critical. The doorway, everything about this is suspect to me. Everything. Every little thing about this dude in this video holds information. It holds deep information. And when I say that I'm coming from my intuition, I feel it. Like even when I repeat it. So when I say, oh, it holds deep information, I feel it. You know, like it takes my breath away. Like I have to take a deep breath. Like it's saying to me, oh yeah, you're right. But see, I'm not the law enforcement, so I can't do much with that. If there was someone who was listening, I would be like, you need to fucking look into this. Like it's really important. Because the truth is in here and someone put it in here. You see. That looks like Sammy to me. And then that's from Candace. And anytime I see redhead and someone that looks like Michael Vaughn, I'm going to show it. This isn't Brian, by the way. This is the guy that's on the boat. That I said there's shit happening. It looks like Brian. These guys look the same. Because that guy looks like Brian. They all look like Brian. But there's something to be looked into. There's something that needs to be investigated on a investigator's way of doing it. Meaning like the way that the law enforcement does it. I don't do that. I don't go any further. I give what I'm shown and told, and that's it. Like I don't go any further. Like this is what's in the corner of his photo. I mean, it's bloody. And he looks like both Brian Kohlberger and this dude. Again, I showed this before. These are the same. These are the equipment. One's from Summer's case, and then the other one is from Bob Vaughn. I showed this. Pay attention here. This is the Idaho 4 food truck. This is Ethan Chapman. You all could tell me it's not, but this is Ethan. After he was sacrificed, this is showing his picture. And it's right there. It's just like Summers. Ethan Chapman's photo after he was hurt and beat up, whatever they did to him, this is him, right in here. These are his lips, and he is extremely bruised up. He is in the same kind of a device as Summer. Ethan Chapman is in this photo. You all could take a photo, please, and send it in. Help send this stuff in to law enforcement. It's very clear. I'll change the coloring. That this is him. Very clear. And that is not a food truck. It is not a food truck. Wherever they are, this is where they got the shit kicked out of him. And take a screenshot, because it's real obvious that this is him. I'm changing the color. He's really in bad shape here. Extremely bad shape. But somebody thought it would be okay to take a photo. It's very sad. What I find very sad is all these photos. This photo basically is just like Summer's chin, right? And it's not going to be discussed. It's not going to be compared. But yet, they're completely similar. They're similar because they went through similar circumstances. The hurt and the pain and the suffering, they all went through it. They did, you guys. And whatever this is the same story, you see. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing because for some reason I have the insight to show it to you. I see it. I'm being shown it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't. I didn't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to go show similar shit between all these people that are being brutally murdered. No. It wasn't on my to-do list. But yet here I am. And even through the shit that I'm going through on my own level of health, here I am. Because it's not going to stop showing. It's not going to stop showing itself until justice is served. Those are his lips. And I know that because shit. One day I'll tell you guys what I'm going through, but not right now. It's too raw for me to talk about. But what the fuck? What's it gonna take? At least what's it gonna take for someone to recognize that it's the same? I want to know who's that girl in the middle. You guys, it's driving me crazy. She was one of the very first people to be interviewed. I recognize her from Summer Moon, from the church or something. Who is she? Does anyone know who she is? Driving me crazy. I need to know who this is. See, Ethan? He's holding stuff. And he's got the L on his shoulder. And it's the Batman thing that I'm going to keep my eye on. So I put it in there. Who's the person in the middle? Driving me crazy. I just want to show you how I don't understand how these channels are showing this information and no one's catching it. This is showing four different faces in a window of a car that has one person in it. So this is the mayor's daughter or something that they pulled over. But yet, in the mayor's daughter that they pulled over, these are the different faces that are showing in her window. Doesn't anyone want to know why this is happening? Like, what the fuck? These are all familiar faces, you guys. And the people pulling them over have all the same elements on their hands. Like, that's not the mayor's daughter. You guys, this is not the mayor's daughter. What the hell is going on in our news? That's not the mayor's daughter. Again, Don Wells, and then to the left is Bob Vaughn's room that to me look pretty much the same. As well as it looks the same to where Molly Golightly is standing. Now, Molly Golightly is standing in the same kind of a room. But Molly Golightly has this little child's head sitting next to her. That little child's head is what I showed you in the beginning that David Dotson was holding. It's a little child. It's a little child. David Dotson's holding the same little child. You see? It's like a little squirrel, a little summer, a little, you know, panda, whatever you want to call it. They both freaking have it. They both have one. Don't you want to know why? So as weird as you thought it was here of David Dotson holding a little fucking panda bear head, Molly's got the same thing going on. And she's got more behind her, way more. She's got way more little cylinders in the back. Little cylinders like we had with Summer. Molly is in a room filled with this stuff. She is a gift that keeps giving. She is a gift that keeps giving. Over and over. I knew I've seen these things before. I knew it. I knew it. Man, who died, Matthew, they kept showing these things. I'm like, I know I've seen them. They show up in these cases. They're like these little red pomegranate things. To the left, I took it, that one from Arden Papillon. It shows up as if they get buried in the hay. They get buried in the ground. These are like little seeds, and they look like pomegranates. But I wanted to show you guys. I knew I saved them. These little pomegranates show up in the cases that I talk about here. They're just little popcorn seeds. They look like popcorn seeds or pomegranates seeds, but this is what they look like. And they're significant. Like this is significant. These are all significant. This is Summer, this is Candace's TikTok. It's disgusting, and what's more disgusting is no one is doing anything about it. It's all this shit. And this was in Molly's mouth. This stuff, this shit goes in their mouth. To the left is from the Beeston Bunch. That and all this, it's the same stuff. It's disgusting, but it's part of the sacrifice. Part of it. Candace and KIELYRODNI have some sort of a connection, right? This, I'm showing this again because it went nowhere, but it's extremely important to recognize that they have the same freaking shirts on. And again, this guy that shows up in the video that's named Long Live Summer, and they're talking about Summer and showing kids jumping. This guy looks just like the guy in the food truck. I'm putting it out there again because maybe someone will do something about it, right? To me, these guys are the same dude. And then this guy I recognize, but he was in Molly Golightly's Ashley Furniture video. Remember that? He was standing in the corner and I'm like, I know you. I've seen you. I've seen you. So I'm putting this in here because they remind me of each other. And I'm just putting this in here because, like I said, sometimes I get information and it's not ready to like fully show itself. So I'm putting this out there because I need it to be here. Because in time it's going to unfold because I know that this is important. That's all I know right now. That's what I know. That this is important. Just as this is important in Molly's video, that I believe that this looks and is Candace Wells at the table with her. This to me is Candace sitting at the table at the wife swap video with Prince. Well, at least it's called wife swap. This here is such a freaking amazing photo that looks just like, and look at the band on her head. It's the same band that Don wears. Right there. It looks just like her. Oh yeah, I went over this before. It's a very strange picture. But what I'm trying to get at is much of the information that you're going to be seeing in these videos that I keep showing is getting closer and closer and closer together. They're repeating and repeating and repeating the same information. Especially JLR. He keeps showing this. And I know that this is critical information and it's showing the elements that they use within these cases. This is JLR's hand. These photos here match whatever I've been showing you guys for the last 2.5 years. What he's holding in his hand is no different than what I have been showing you throughout this video. You see, everything that this dude shows has to be looked at. Hands and fingers, you guys. are part of the sacrifices. These are JLR's hands. They're not his hands. These are victims' hands that have no fingers. You tell me that that is JLR's hand. Give me a break. It's not. There is no difference. I'm going to show it again. To what you see here. Let me grab it. Then what you see, way back up here. See what he has in his hand. Let me explain something here. So remember I told you this stuff's always in their hands. So this is Ryan Upchurch. What he's showing in his hand is the same circumstances Ryan Upchurch's hand. It's the same situation. And then it's also the same situation in the Idaho 4. This is all the same. This is all the same. And then where's I'm looking for here, and here's Molly's. These are just the equipment, you guys. This is all the equipment. It shows. It shows in all these cases. Each one of these cases is showing the same information, and it's just about time for people to recognize that they're repeating and repeating. Even though they keep repeating, no one is stopping to talk about how they're repeating. It's the same information. So it's like how many times do they have to show the same information? You know, here's this little girl with her polka dotted PJs. We've seen these before. We've seen this all before. And look at her finger. It's got everything to do with these fingers. That's not her finger. You want to know where you've seen these polka dotted PJs before? In the SUMMERWELLS case. Arbania Pepion had them. SUMMERWELLS has polka dotted. They're saying that that's on Candace. I don't understand it. How that could be on Candace, and how this could be Summer sitting here as a little child, and she has on this photo, it's the same picture. Here she has tie-dye pants. But in the next frame, they show her as like a 12-year-old, and she doesn't have tie-dye pants on anymore. And Candace has polka dot pants on? At the end of the day, you guys, it's giving critical information. This is critical information. They show stuff like this, a hand and fingers in a hand all the time. Look in her hand. Look between her fingers. It's consistent. It's consistent in everything they do. It's all repeats itself. It repeats and repeats and repeats. It's the children that are looking for the justice. And that is why it keeps showing over and over and over to me. So justice prevails. So this picture, someone does something about it. Someone looks at this and is like, oh wow, that can't be JLR's car with the same fucking thing in it as the Idaho 4 and Brian Kohlberger and his father. Well, guess what? It is the same. This is the same. It's right there. It's in the car. No one is recognizing it. The front seat. That front seat is a bunch of crock of shit, is what that front seat is. This whole thing is a bunch of crock of shit. Look at his S on his shirt. Nothing here makes sense. You guys, it makes 0 sense. Every time this dude puts shit out there like this, this is what he's showing. Every time. But guess what? He can. He can. No one's stopping him. No one's saying, oh my God, this is just like so weird. Makes no sense. Your face is completely bruised up and your hand looks like shit and your front seat of your car has humans and it looks like Brian Kohlberger's car inside. Nope. Look at the inside of this car. Look at his hand. Look at his face. Look at this. So, this is where I'm going to end it. This is information that you guys could take and do something with it. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take an army to figure this stuff out. Like, just look as if you look at it and know that's not normal. None of this is. None of his information is. But it's speaking the voices for the children to get justice. That's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. On that note, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. Oh, let me show you this one. This is even bloodier. All these pictures. Look at this photo. Those aren't even his arms. Look at that. Jesus Christ. You guys, he's holding the elements. You understand that? You understand that this is... Why isn't he being questioned? I mean, it's blunt. It's obvious. It's right there. Do you know what this video is? They're in front of Seventh-day Adventist Church. He's with Bullhorn Betty and Molly Golightly. Go look at this video. Because this is really bad. This is really, really bad. All right, y'all. I definitely have to be done. Thank you all for being here. Again, can't do it without you. And I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow, but I'll know tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you, subs, members. Thank you, amazing Boston. And thank you, Muffin Top. That's it, you guys. God bless you. Thank you. And everyone have a wonderful night. Good night, guys.